Okay, so Naya runes kind of went from one of the more popular, powerful decks of the format to just like completely vanishing, like to the point where it didn't even have a bad performance at our last Hoglande Open. It literally just had 0 people out of 100 register it. So I'm curious to play some matches with it here today and see how it feels into the plethora of red-black grindy decks that are on the ladder. Like, most of the ladder is red-black X mid-range decks trying to out-grind each other, and I'm interested to see how this plays out. Yeah, so this deck got very targeted at the Mythic Championship with a lot of people playing Archons, but the format changed completely with the release of the last Alchemy set. It really put the red-black decks ahead in a way that just wasn't the case at that Mythic Championship. And I think this deck with Showdown and Runeforge and Hallowed Haunting likely has a pretty decent red-black and Grixis matchup. So let's pop on into some games with this and see if that's the case or if it's getting pushed out by those. Hey, thanks for the Prime win, Magus. Appreciate the over 2 years. Welcome back. Well, so Invoke Despair actually makes your opponent sacrifice an enchantment. So Invoke Despair does give the Rakdos decks a meaningful way to interact with what this deck is doing. I guess it kind of, because you tend to have more than one enchantment, but it's not a guarantee. Are you playing blue-white control? Man, that's a blue-white control is a bold decision into a field full of red-black. We're gonna speed on Lair Hydra for later. Honestly, I think I'm just putting this on the Lair of the Hydra too, because I don't want them to like kill my Runeforge in response and then not be able to draw a card. Yeah, the combat patterns in Spider-Man are great. And they just get better as you open up more abilities. Like the Valhalla combat, for example, is like, it's alright and it's seeming to get better as I open up more. Like the Spider-Man combat is aces from the start and then gets only more complex in a neat way. Yeah, I don't know what their hand is. Maybe they, like, did they just draw a key or like what's going on? We do not know anything about the contents of the upcoming balance patch. They just said it will be happening. 9 mana. I can't tell what they have, checks. They made all their cards one cheaper. Any castable spell lets them bounce their stuff. I mean, I'm not playing around Fading Hope, chat, because if they have Fading Hope, we're going to concede. Maybe we're conceding if they have Fading Hope. I don't know. It's close. Maybe they don't have it. We're going to get them. Alright, I'm tapped out. Cast your spell. Thanks. Good talking. Yeah, Hullbreaker Horror definitely feels like if you're playing anything that plays to the board and they get to cast a spell or two with it, you just lose the game. It's not a particularly interesting or engaging play pattern. At least other blue decks can counter it now, I suppose, but definitely big hopeless energy when you're playing against it. You can always answer the question, has Jeff played X, by checking on the YouTube channel. Everything ends up posted there on the main one. Not particularly compelling gameplay in Alchemy so far this morning. Might be a start standard early kind of day. Yeah, I don't think Divine Purge is likely to get touched. Decks like the last opponent was playing are frustrating to play against, but they're not particularly popular or powerful. Basically haven't put up any results. They get chewed up and spat out by the existing black mid-range iterations with all their 2-for-1s. Yeah, I agree, PTY Wish. I think the play patterns that card generates are real toxic. It'd be right to play this on green, but like also have a red card. Definitely feeling some clunkiness from our mana base here. How peak ladder matchmaking is it, by the way, to stop playing the deck before this one because we queued into red-black 3 times in a row, and then switch to this one hoping to see how it plays out into red-black to then hit 2 non-red-black 2 matches in a row? We tried to play a mid-range combo deck that just, like, had 0 chance of keeping up with all of the 2-for-1s out of the red-black deck, so we shelved it till after the balance patches. No, the shell I'm playing is about what the deck always is. I mean, linear decks can't really just race mid-range decks. Because you just get picked apart in terms of interaction. We draw a green source. It'd be great so I could Generous Visitor before I Rune of Might. Alright, more runes sound great too. Diversify our threats here, power up the Runeforge Champion. Get our trample on here, lifelink a little bit. Morning, Sanzai. Alright, so we want to bring in Skyclaves at a minimum in case they have Archon of Emeria is annoying for us. Hallowed Haunting's probably a little bit slow for this matchup. Their deck seems to be slightly aggressive. Wandering Emperor could possibly tag an Archon as well as their other things. I think you could trim a rune, go down maybe even as low as 9 of those in some of these post-board games. Commune with the Spirits is not great if I'm expecting Archon as well. So, the tough part about... I like mid-range metagames in general, too. But the thing that's a little bit awkward / bad about the current mid-range metagame we're experiencing in Alchemy is that when I say mid-range decks, I don't actually just mean generic mid-range decks. I mean decks that play to the board and care about combat for their card advantage. And that you could maybe argue that that's nitpicky, but I think that the thing that feels kind of frustrating about the current red-black iteration is they're definitely mid-range decks, but they're decks that don't really play to the board for their advantage, right? Like, all of their card advantage is spell-based. Undercity Plunders, Painful Bonds, even Undercity Stalker, or City Stalker Connoisseur to a degree is card advantage that's not advantage on board, it's taking cards out of your hand. Oh, I punted here. I should have played my rune before my land, so I could have played this tapped. Yeah. Better or worse than Cat Oven Mirror? It's definitely better. It's much faster. I think I'm playing this untapped here, so that way I can Showdown of the Skalds to start next turn. Yeah, Ovar's effect is what I often refer to as kind of a safety valve style of effect, where it's fine for it to exist, but when it's super commonplace, if it isn't pushing the deck you're playing it for out of the format, that deck's probably a little bit too cracked, right? Yeah, this deck that we're playing is playable in both Standard and Alchemy. Well, Kami into second Showdown. Toe Smasher. We are going to pippity pop off next turn, chat. Any hopes or predictions for the OP announcement next week? I expect Wizards to just fully shift gears back to their previously successful system. I expect something resembling the old PTQ GP Pro Tour system without Pro Club levels. So there won't be silver, gold, platinum type stuff, giving people the disillusion that they can play Magic as a professional job. I expect them to lean into the you could be here playing with these people angle as opposed to the you should want to watch these people play angle. That was the big thing the MPL missed, is people don't watch Magic by and large because they give a shit about the people playing the game. Most people couldn't care less if it's LSV or Andre Mengucci or Random Grinder 267. People at home largely just want to see interesting decks have the possibility to do well. Most people watch Magic content and coverage looking for things to emulate themselves. Well, and part of the reason why I think it's so tough to generate celebrity hype in a game like Magic is the skill expression in Magic is just very different than the skill expression in other actually skill-based games, right? And that's not to say Magic's devoid of skill, but it's really hard to sell someone as like a great player that you should respect and want to watch when they flood and screw just like everybody else, right? Like, these players still just have just as many non-games as the rest of us. It's like, why should I care about their success when there's a good chance they just don't get to play a game? It's not like a game like Pokemon Unite, where if me and 4 random grinders queued up against the best team in Pokemon Unite, we'd be lucky to win, 1 in 20 games. Whereas in Magic, if I sit down against the theoretical best player in the world, I'm probably going to go 30-40% even. And part of that, people always talk about, the Hoaglandia Open coverage we do. And one of the things our Hoaglandia Open coverage does that's fundamentally different than a lot of other coverages is that we don't try and follow specific people because they're names. We just try and highlight deck lists, which I think a lot of people appreciate. But that's a different issue, Rothan. Players rotating out of the game is an entirely different problem potentially than what I'm talking about here. Are y'all ready to pop off a little bit here, chat? Oh, you know what? I should be playing around Fading Hope here, and I should have cast my first rune off of the red mana. I put both counters over here. Just want to try and diversify my threats a little bit. I mean, even if they have Fading Hope here, I'm still, like, drawing a bunch of cards, right? Thanks for the 3.5 years, Sayel. Yeah. Like playing some kind of red-blue artifacts deck. That's probably just like an all Doomblades on deck matchup for us, I have to imagine. I'm gonna trim some Rune of Speeds. Some Commune with the Spirits. Bring in Skyclave and Portable Hole. Man, chat, I'm gonna be honest. This is faster than I was expecting. They're already cranking out Storybook Brook Brawl flavored NFTs. Speaking of LSV and things you shouldn't care about. LSV is a crypto grifter, by the way, for those that aren't familiar. This card's so good. We're just playing another tapped land here, huh? Really want like a portable hole here, right? I think I'm supposed to Showdown right away here, because I need to try and find a portable hole. We could also find untapped land plus Skyclave. Do I not have second green? I don't know if second green's a little awkward. No artifacts here for them. Is really good for us. That's pretty good. I've talked about this before, chat, but cryptocurrency companies are the people I have to most frequently tell I will not take their money for advertising. It's also one of the reasons why after I left F2K, I didn't pursue joining another esports organization, because basically all of the major esports orgs at this point are taking crypto money. Just want 2 things capable of blocking this, theoretically. Well, I'm gonna lose this rune. So if I don't cast it this turn, I'm losing it. And if they have something like Fading Hope, I'm in trouble even if I cast this. Oh god, are we dead? Not quite, but close. Thanks, Gruff McGruffin. Okay, so they can trade their patchwork for my 2 things if they want, which they seem to want. I think this is a good exchange for us. Okay, and now we're actually in a pretty okay spot here, right? Because I get to play this, and I get to put 3 runes on it with... I get to put 3 runes on it with Showdown of the Skalds triggering while I do it, and we get to attack. Yeah, I get to attack for 7 here, right? If I attack and they have the +3/+1, they could make this a 5. I die to Ironhoof Boar if I attack here. Am I supposed to attack? Next to that Bluetooth, or dead to Fading Hope if we don't. Yeah, that's true. And they already played 1 boar. How many boars do they have? Probably not 4, he says before he dies to Ironhoof Boar. Yeah, the cryptocurrency, for those that aren't intimately familiar with the space, there's 2 types of people in the cryptocurrency community. There are grifters making money, and there are idiots who are making those grifters money. Those are your 2 options in the crypto space. It's like Avon, chat. Oh no! We died to the pig, chat! Oh no! Little pig, little pig. So, I'm gonna give you a timeout, Bluefire. If you're a nerd who likes technology in the crypto space, that means you're still either getting grifted by people or grifting others. There isn't really a middle ground there. Yeah, people who don't realize what they're doing fall into the idiots category. Oh, I'm Wandering Emperor. I click submit. Yeah, but like, we had slow distributed computing before blockchains, right? Like, blockchain is kind of an evolution of, do people remember folding at home? Remember that? That was blockchain's kind of capitalism taking control of folding at home, right? Which is, again, it's just like, it's just a type of technology that doesn't actually solve any problems. For people that don't remember what folding at home was, it was a piece of software that lets you donate CPU cycles on your computer to run scientific calculations. I don't remember exactly what it was doing, but it was supposed to be something beneficial, working on problems that supercomputers would normally work on, so they would distribute that to other computers. Yeah. Protein folding. That was what the folding was referring to. Yeah, that. Yeah, it was trying to use a computer to solve a problem for medicine. I think it's Runeforge into Rune of Might here, huh? And then we'll set ourselves up to start Skyclaving and Portable Holding next turn. And I think we probably just grab a backup Lifesteal rune here, Lifelink rune. What about inflation? What about it? What a lazy waste of a Twitch chat message. What about it? Did your keyboard stop working except for the enter button after you typed the third word in that message? Feel free to elaborate, or we'll just dunk on you. Do I want to chump block with my Runeforge Champion so they can't draw 3 cards? Probably. It feels like they're on empty. Well, that gives trample too. That's correct. What was it? The creator... I can't remember if it was either the creator of Dogecoin or Ethereum... had a really good base summary about cryptocurrency, chat. Let's say you go into cryptocurrency expecting to do something honest about it, and you have nothing but genuine things and you aren't out to grift people. If at any point you are ever in a room full of people doing the same thing as you, and you're the only honest person in that room, you probably need to stop and ask yourself why it is that you're the only honest person in the room. have a little moment of reflection and be like, why is this? And the answer is probably one. There's an answer. Maybe it was Dogecoin. One of them. I don't know. It was one of the. It was one of them. There's so many, chat. Alright, we've got an answer for this other patchwork automaton here. We're gonna get to keep attacking with our Kami. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought the original creator of Ethereum was trying to fully bail out. Or there was one of them that was doing something along those lines. The question you need to ask yourself, Director Dodd, is, are you comfortable with yourself and will you feel like you're an okay person at the end of the day if the money you make off of the cryptocurrency that you own comes from someone who was scammed out of their retirement savings being told that they should do this? Because there's so many stories like that. Of stuff like that happening to people that are just being grifted by something they don't fully understand. In order for you to make a profit on cryptocurrency, it ends up taking advantage of someone else. And whether or not that makes you a good person or a bad person, like, you know, I'm not gonna bring up your discussion of morality, like, I would feel bad if the way in which I made money came from exploiting someone else that didn't understand what was going on. And I make decisions like that in my own business too. For example, something that I've talked about on stream before. Have you ever seen a hype train on someone's Twitch channel where people sub or share bits or do other things that contribute money in quick succession and Twitch puts that hype train thing up on the screen? I have that explicitly disabled on my channel. And the reason why I have that disabled is because while I greatly appreciate the people who can afford to sub to my channel that support my content, this is my full-time job and I wouldn't be able to be here without them. I don't want money that people are sending to me to be impulse purchases. That's money that they can't be afford to spending. And that's what the hype train mechanic is designed to do. It's designed to encourage people to make decisions in the moment and spend currency they can't actually afford to be spending. It's Twitch FOMO. So Twitch gives me the option to disable that FOMO thing, so I disable it. Because I don't want people giving me money in that way. Comparing crypto to the stock market isn't a fair one-to-one comparison, because while I certainly won't absolve the stock market of all of the problems that it certainly has problems. At its core, the goal of the stock market is supposed to be giving money to companies to allow them to innovate and create good products. And you're right that it isn't perfect, but at its core, people are actually doing something with the money you're investing. It's not just pure speculation that the currency you're putting money into is gonna go up. The stock market also has a lot of problems, and it's not like, there are some regulations, but it definitely needs more. Like, for example, members of Congress shouldn't be able to buy and sell individual stocks, since it's an incredible conflict of interest. But again, don't let perfect be the enemy of good. Just because something is not perfect doesn't mean you scrap it and throw it all away. She came down here with new board games in her hands looking guilty, chat. What are the odds they have a removal spell here? High? I think I'm gonna chill on this rune for a turn. Let's just start by attacking. Feels like they have a Doomblade. Do I need more lifelink in this matchup? Probably not, huh? I have another Jukai Naturalist in hand, too. So the problem with doing board game streams is that the difficulty and complexity of putting on a good board game stream is really hard. And the difficulty and complexity of putting on a good board game stream is hard. And even a really good board game stream is not, even a really good board game stream won't be particularly popular. Yeah, it's exactly like Paper Magic. I think I have Root in a box. Is Root the one where you build trees? I think that sounds familiar, but I also have a giant pile of games. No, you're right, that is photosynthesis. No, I don't think I've played Root then. You're right, I was thinking of photosynthesis. Root is an area control game where you play different animal factions. There's a good chance that's in the pile of games next to me. Chat, would you believe that I still haven't taken the time to put all the board games from a pile to my left back up onto the shelf? It's gonna happen at some point, I promise, but... How perfect is it, by the way, chat, that their username is Sack? And they're currently playing the Rakdos Sacrifice deck. It's kind of fantastic. They're probably dead here, right? Are they dead? Yeah, I think you're right. This matchup is good for us. I think this matchup is good for us. How do we want to sideboard here? It's weird to call. I don't know. I feel like I'd refer that as like a spectator blue fire. Calling that position a nerd is strange. Do I want Portable Hole on top of Skyclave? Skyclave seems good here. I'm hesitant to board a ton in this matchup because I feel like we're the beatdown, right? They've not played Cosmic Encounter, Dr. Brew. Skyclave is worse than a meat hook. That's not strictly true, because it just gives them a token back afterwards, and Skyclave being a body that can attack them has a lot of value. So let's just, I'm gonna do 1 Portable Hole and 4 of these. I'll trim one Rune of Speed and 4 Commune. Yeah, this is fine, right? We'll bottom this. We get to go this into this. Then we have all 3 of our colors of mana. I imagine a deck like this will want to play a non-zero number of the upcoming Naya Triome, but it's probably not 4. Having lands that are always tapped in your aggro deck's kind of a big ask. Alright, we didn't get hook lined and sunk that turn, so that's about the best we could ask for. If we draw a brick again next turn, we can Lair of the Hydra, attack for 6 at least. I have an update available. Yo, Ann, thanks for the Prime support. There's a ton of great people you can send that to every single month here on Twitch. Thanks for sending it this way this month and keeping me around. Appreciate it. We've got a whole lot of nothing going on at the moment. But thankfully, we've got a bunch of Showdown of the Skalds deck that we could draw and be excellent. What's in the update today? Well, we know a balance patch isn't coming in this patch, so I have to imagine it's just like bug fixes and stuff. Croakies is number 3 and you're still in the percentages. That's great for Croakies, and if he enjoys grinding rank, good for him. Magic's a game that you should play for fun, and if you find it more fun watching someone who's close to rank 1, feel free to fuck on off and go watch someone that's trying to do that. Here's your number 1 piece of advice for watching Twitch, chat. If you don't enjoy what's currently on your screen, changing the channel is free. God, the Magic community sometimes, chat. They're really something. I mean, there's nothing wrong with enjoying the arena ladder and feeling like you have a sense of accomplishment because you did well. It's fine to enjoy that. But it's also fine to just like play Magic in the way that you like, right? My goal isn't to be number 1 on the arena ladder. In fact, I find Magic to be an exceedingly miserable game if I'm playing it with my only goal being trying to win. Thanks for the 34 months, Leak Eater. Welcome back. I think we just continue attacking with the Lair, huh? Yeah, the Abzan deck was great RMB. Thanks for her. Thanks for linking it the other day. You're killing all my friends, chat. I mean, there's like numerous examples of... I think I'm portable. Actually, I think I'm Skyclave Apparitioning this Blood Artist. So that way, if they want to block with their Den of the Bugbear, they don't treat me. I also want to put another 2/2 into play to keep attacking with here. So they actually hinted in Daily MTG, not Daily MTG, in their last live feed video that they did, that the constructed events in Magic Arena are going to have an overarching tie-in to the rest of organized play. Which I agree will be a good change, offering competitive options to people that don't just want to play ladder matches. Hey, Archivist! Thanks for the 3/4 of a year. Welcome back. Yeah, they said we'll get more details on that with the update on the 31st. So we're getting an overall organized play update on March 31st. That's not a bad draw. I don't know, Blue Fire. Enjoying the spectacle of cryptocurrency, it'd kind of be like enjoying the spectacles of gladiator games with people murdering each other, right? Only instead of humans killing each other, you're enjoying the spectacle of people killing the planet. I don't know. You do you, but... Alright, they're a nice healthy 3. What a convenient Cave of the Frost Dragon. Yeah, I agree, Cilium. I really wish they would ban Luris so they could effectively unban sweet 3-drops in Historic. I want to play some cheeky 3s. If there's an unbanned request, it'll appear on the left side of the mod panel. There are not currently any. I check them usually once a day or so. Okay, so this keeps them alive to my cave for a turn. We're at a nice, healthy life total, though. And we're just gonna keep playing out every land we draw here, because if we draw Showdown of the Skalds, we want as many lands in play as possible. Sure, for what it's worth, whenever I refer to banning something in this format, I mean nerfing it. Just for clarity's sake. Chat, I'm an old man that's been playing Magic for 2 decades. Ban is my default jargon. Vernal Grasp. Oh, they have a Voltage Surge. Brutal. All right. We continue on, chat. How do I turn it off? I'm so scared. Just get rid of the mod part of the URL. They're closing pretty quick despite our high life total here. We need to find some action ASAP here. Hey, Empire for Hire. Thanks for the 22 months. Welcome back. This here Rune of Speed and attack. No, this is definitely less impactful than what's it called? The City Stalker Connoisseur. City Stalker is the most impactful, not close. It is also a black one. Yeah, the black cards are real good, for sure. Thanks for the 22 months, Brad, again. Welcome back. Yeah, I think this matchup is good for runes, which is why I'm surprised we don't see more runes on the ladder. It feels like people just like forgot this deck was an option. Oh, I tapped a land for mana and I didn't need a land. I didn't need a mana. I think I'm supposed to attack because of Meat Hook Massacre, right? Obviously they have the creature land and they're not dead here, but like, if I don't attack and they untap and drop Meat Hook, I end up in a pretty bad spot. Again, just playing all of my lands out because there are 4 Showdown of the Skalds in my deck, and I just want to have as many lands as possible to play if I draw one. No, I don't really play Magic competitively anymore, RMB. Like I mentioned earlier when we were roasting the person that was... complaining about me not being a high rank on the ladder for whatever reason. Yeah. My desire to play Magic drops significantly if the only thing I care about is winning. Now, chat, they're not MCQs or PTQs, they're they're SCQs, Set Championship Qualifiers, SCQs. It's SCQ, Set Championship, SCQ champ. I think I have a command, in fact. Yeah, there we go. We called ours a Set Championship Qualifier, because it's all the same thing. You may only be 13, 17 on the arena ladder, but you're number one in my shriveled Twitch chat heart. God bless. You know, it's funny, chat, and this is why you should always go with your gut. Skimming back on the chat history of the person that we came in and banned for being an asshole about my current ladder ranking, the entire rest of their chat history was basically messages that I was really close to banning them for at the time. Should always go with your gut. It saves you headache in the future. What's the deck to beat in Standard at the moment? Oh, I forgot. I need to download the system update. Wow, that's super lucky. They drew land and a 2-drop with their 2 synthesizer hits. Rough. Wait, what? They didn't... Why didn't they play that? They want to hold a removal spell up? I'm so confused. I mean, I'll take it. But I'm very... Yeah, they definitely have Doomblade, right? Why would they just hold up Doomblade here, though? Are they afraid about me going, like, Runeforge Champion popping off? That's gotta be that, right? I should play around Meat Hook Massacre, right? Okay, so now this doesn't get Meat Hooked for 3. Just hit the cumulative variance button and cash in. Yeah, but like putting the Rune of Might on here is like pretty fine. Alright, chat, it's time to pippity pop off a little bit here. Oh my gosh. Lordy, lordy. Alright, cue the Benny Hill music. Hey, chat, do you think we ruined our opponent's morning? Hey, thanks to whoever checked out the Dark Nemesis promo. Appreciate you. Drop me a DM with a screenshot of your account at level 10. I'd be happy to gift you a sub to the channel as a thank you for checking that out. Is there an out for the opponent here? They can have a couple of pieces of spot removal and be like an okay spot, but still not great. Oh yeah, you spin those tires. There's something incredibly satisfying about just killing these Rakdos decks while they sit here and draw cards, chat. Trample, running you down, do 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 do. We are all trampled, do 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 do. Be do 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 do. We got trample, we're running you down, do 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 be do 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 do. Been playing the opponent's deck, and the runes matchup feels close to unwinnable. Yeah, I'm really interested to see what someone said Croquis is running an Alchemy event this weekend on Melee. I'm interested to see how much of the field is this deck. I really feel like this deck's pretty good. Yeah, the meta game feels like it's about to reset a little bit. Would be my estimation too. Well, the metagame challenge we won't get any meaningful data out of. They don't share anything on that. I mean, this deck has plenty of play against the Archon. You have 4 Skyclave Apparitions. You could play even more than that if you're really worried about it. Like the build of runes I started with this morning actually had Archons in the main. So, and this is something that I've taken qualms with or discussed with people in a variety of games before, but I don't think simply the existence of a rock, paper, scissors metagame inherently means a format is healthy. It can be healthy with a rock, paper, scissors metagame, but the thing that's most important under those circumstances is how heavily weighted is the rock, the paper, and the scissors. Are they 70-30, 80-20 matchups? Or are they 60-40, 45-55? Are they bad matchups you can adjust with, you know, good sideboard choices and good mulligans and good play and get them close? Or are they just incredibly polarized if you hit the wrong matchup in the rock, paper, scissors triangle? Yeah, how winnable is your rock matchup as scissors is a great way to put it. I play Pokemon. I'm used to 9d10 matches. Is Pokemon usually pretty polarized? I will definitely profess not having a ton of experience with competitive Pokemon TCG. Let me just play these out and attack them. One of the things that's interesting to me in the Pokemon from a gameplay perspective is that because Pokemon has so much card selection, the impact of playing 1 or 2 copies of a tech card for particularly bad matchups gives you a really high chance of actually drawing those tech cards. Unlike in Magic, where if you sideboard 2 cards for something, there's a good chance you play your best of 3 and never see that card, right? But Pokemon has so many tutors and draw effects and wheels and stuff like that. Oh, don't worry. As soon as the new Pokemon client launches, we're gonna be doing 2 to 3 hours of it every day on this channel. I'm really looking forward to it. When does that drop? We don't have an official date yet. They're supposed to be giving us news this week. Oh wait, I gotta restart my client. All right, hold on, chat. This is your punishment for there being in a Magic Arena update. You gotta look at my big ugly face. I watched a bit of Pokemon had their first in-person regional championship tournaments again this past weekend. And it was really weird, chat. They had a large in-person tournament for their card game, and they had streaming video coverage of it. I was shocked. Yeah, the new Pokemon client is currently in closed beta in Canada, among other places. My face is like looking in a mirror for you. I'm so sorry. Are Pokemon paper tournaments still like anarchy in regards to rule enforcements? I have no idea. It's been like 5 years since I last played a paper Pokemon tournament. So I could have played around that Jawari disruption, but I'm gonna run into it at some point, and I think I'd rather run into it there. When I played the previous Pokemon TCG client, it was on a friend's account, so... I guess here's my one question for people that follow competitive Pokemon stuff. Is it still legal? Is it still legal to stall in paper Pokemon? Are you still allotted X amount of seconds per game action and can intentionally run out the clock by doing that? That was the big thing that kind of turned me off of competitive Pokemon in paper. Not that I intend to go back to playing competitively in paper for any games, really. I just want to poke around on their digital client for fun. Big casual gamer energy chat, playing games for fun. We played into the first one, hoping the second one wouldn't be there. Okay, that's good, Lakar. When I last played Pokemon TCG, I literally walked around the event hall and saw multiple people basically intentionally stalling, and it was perfectly legal at the time. There were no judges brought in, and people were forcing draws on purpose. It's basically what I was watching happen. I think I'm playing my land before the showdown, so I don't walk into another disruption here. It means if I hit 2 lands off of the showdown, I only get to play one of them, but I think it's correct to play on the third one because I can. Nice. Only drew 1 land anyways, never punished. Hallowed Haunting is incredible in a matchup like this. I don't have second white yet, but definitely want that for later. Yeah, I understand draws happen organically, but a draw happening organically when players are trying to play quickly is very different than being like, oh, I'm up a game, so I'm gonna count to 15 or 30 or whatever it is every time I take a game action. I have one of my rune cards. They're probably not very good in your deck anyways. Rune of Speed on here. Maybe I want to err on the side of making this bigger now to encourage them to knock it out. gonna save this for next turn. Let's start here. If they have a counter spell, this will certainly get it. Well, yeah, Lucar, but like, in an instant like what you're talking about there, you shouldn't shuffle in between every game action that's going to require you to shuffle again, right? That's like players not shortcutting properly. Unless you're taking draw actions in between your shuffling, you should just shuffle at the very end when you're all done. That was something newer tournament players at Magic always struggled with too. It's like if I'm gonna crack a couple of fetch lands in a row, I'm just only gonna shuffle once at the end of all the fetch lands. Or if I'm... Annie, thanks for the follow. Sure, but depending on what you're doing too, you could also like sequence in a way that shortcuts as well. You could make knowing how many times you're going to be shuffling part of your sequencing decisions also, unless there's a really strong strategical reason not to. Which I don't know the text of all those cards offhand, but I'd be kind of surprised if that was the case. So they're playing a control deck. So the Runes of Sustenance come out. Tamiyo Safekeeping in, Emperor in, I think Rangers class in too here. What do I want to be cutting? I need 3 trims here. I think we need to leave in all of the Commune with the Spirits because we want to find our showdowns more consistently. I wonder if trimming Generous Visitor is reasonable. We're bringing in other threats, basically. Definitely can't go lower than 8 runes. I'm on the draw. Can I kind of land on the draw? To hit the counter on the playthrough for Dark Nemesis takes about 20 minutes, Moldy. 15 to 20, depending on how quick you click. And yeah, can definitely just hit a random with it later. Yeah, I guess I don't have a good point of how long it takes exactly, because I sat there and read through everything as I played. Oh, you did it in under 10 coons? Busted. Alright, so this Crossroads is technically untapped. So you have untapped lands on 1, 2, 3 here if we want them. Hopefully this Commune with the Spirits finds us something useful to do. I I think I'm cantripping a Rune of Might on turn 2, chat. Especially with the creature land to put it on. Runes have an advantage against Tamiyo. The opponent's archetype isn't really an established deck, so no idea. Lizzie Badger, thanks for the 5 months. Welcome back. Happy Thursday. ARP. We're gonna just put some runes on my friend here in attack with the Tamiyo Safekeeping. Weird that they didn't do that in response to any of my runes. Not that it would have worked out for them, but if you kill this in response to me targeting with one of these, chat, I won't get to draw the card, so usually you want to do that kind of proactively. I have no idea, Brotherhood. I have copy pasta'd our deck list. The plus 2 life makes it slightly better in creature matchups, I guess, but I genuinely don't know. The runes deck has been pretty good, Chip. Oh, you know what? We've been on this one for hour 40. Yeah, let's do one more. I'm having fun. Let's do one more and then we'll swap over to playing some standard. Are there foils in the store? Oh, did it roll over? I think I checked it before. Did we queue desync too? Ooh, a rare I didn't have. I can't believe I haven't finished the playset of rares for that set yet. It's actually kind of surprising. Wasn't opening that pack fun? I mean, I was pleasantly surprised that it wasn't 20 gems. No, they said you're not supposed to be collecting complete sets if you're poor. The system's not designed for people free to playing to complete them. It is, however, designed for large sea creatures to complete them. Don't you have credit cards, chat? Just go into debt to complete your Magic Arena deck. It's as simple as that. This deck's really good, Spaceman. It dumpsters the sacrifice deck. Grab an extra lifelink rune here. A couple of those seems like it's gonna be pretty good. Oh, our opponent's about to learn something all right, chat. They're about to learn about how our deck likes to pippity pop off. Their wolf is so big, chat. It's so big. Are you playing Alchemy or Standard? I think this deck's better than white aggro and Alchemy, but I think red-white aggro is better in Standard. The old 20-point life swing, no big deal. Yeah. Yeah, I feel you, opponent. I feel you. Alright, I'm done bullying Platinum players in Alchemy, chat. This deck's great. The fact that this deck just had 0 people play it in the Hoaglandia Set Championship qualifier is just wild to me. I think if you want to play this deck and you're worried about, you want to play this deck and you're worried about the Archon of Emeria, you just play extra ways to kill it. Yeah, I think people probably just wanted to play with 2 cards is what it was. And this deck just has, I can't remember the last time I played against this deck on the ladder either, so it feels like people are just like distracted by new shinies, but this deck is super powerful. It's really good into these red-black variations. Yeah, it's great. Have fun running people down. Dean Suffy, thank you for the 13 months. Welcome back. Spraticus, thank you for the entire year of support. Captain Kush, if you